Good evening, Trojan fans. Welcome to another edition of the Trojan Insider post-game show here live at the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. My name is Peter Ghersen, alongside Josh Cohen. And Josh, another crazy night for the Trojans as they come away with this one 28-27 over the Utah-USC. A huge game in the Pac-12 South as the Trojans now move to 6-1 on the year, and it really was a tale of two halves.
Incredible, down 21-7. USC fans not exactly thrilled after that first half performance. They come out in the second half and they were electric, and the place was absolutely going crazy. It was a lot of fun, Peter, and a very memorable night for sure.
Yeah, Sam Darnold had a tough start.
Yeah.
3 turnovers in that first quarter and a half, and the Trojans found themselves down, as he said, by 14 points, 21-7. And Utah, they didn't really run the ball or throw the ball exceptionally well. They did run the ball. Zach Moss had 130 yards at the half. The Trojans, though, had over 260 yards at the half, but only had 7 points to show for it. Clay Helton really made a point of that at the post-game press conference, saying, we were due, we're just kind of shooting ourselves in the foot. And a number of players are saying, the offense, we're just shooting ourselves in the foot. We're driving down to the red zone and turning the ball over. But the defense really did their part in that first half. Yes, they allowed 21 points, but as we said, one of them came on a fumble return. But Cam Smith had another interception. He only has 4 in his career here at USC, and all 4 have come against this Utah-USC team. He had a team-high 17 tackles to lead the defense.
Yeah, plays the run so well. Of course, had an interception too, which is one for the highlight reel from number 35. But honestly, when you look at him and you look at a player that's just going to thrive at this level, but also at the next level, Cam Smith, what a joy to watch. And he was huge tonight. You mentioned Zach Moss, but some critical tackles made in the open field, and also the interception, which was a huge lift for USC in that first half. Cam Smith just gets better and better each and every game.
So yeah, the fans here actually at the Coliseum were booing the Trojans as they went into the locker room, trailing 21-7 at the half. And all these players were talking about at the halftime, Coach Helton tried to pump him up. It was actually Chris Hawkins, DJ C-Hawk, I'm going to call him now. He was the guy that picked the song for the halftime to get him going. Jack Jones, he's a flashy guy. He gets him going. He gets him pumped up. And they were just, telling themselves, let's have fun. Football's about having fun. Let's go out there and make some plays. And Coach Helton came out and did his little halftime interview right before he goes back on the field for the second half. And he said, I'm really excited to see this team in the second half. They're fired up. They're ready to go. And boy, they came out in the second half. Sam, after throwing for 150 yards in the first half, came out and finished the day 27-50 for 358, 3 touchdowns, and finally no picks. He did have those 2 fumbles in the first half. Rojo had another terrific day. Now 13 straight games for Ronald Jones III, having a touchdown, either receiving or rushing, as he picked up another one today. 17 carries, 111 yards. Deontay Burnett came off that toe injury, didn't practice all week. He had 8 catches for 99 yards. And then it was really the story of the tight ends. Tyler Petit had a beautiful breakaway, 52-yard touchdown. That was really a defensive breakdown by the Utes. But he went untouched into the end zone. He had another touchdown on a crazy play by Sam, where he escaped defenders and somehow fit the ball in a tiny window for the second touchdown. And then Josh Follow, three catches in his career and 2 of them for touchdowns.
Absolutely. And the return of Daniel Amaterbebe, something that maybe the box score, it's not going to show up quite so much, but you watch the game and you say, hey, there's number 88. How about it? Finally get to see him back out there. He's been nursing that hip injury. He was back out there again. It wasn't about the stat line for him tonight. It was just seeing him back out there running routes. Great to see for these USC fans. A couple stats to keep in mind. 50% on third down for USC, and only 3 penalties tonight. Not a lot of laundry on the field, something that they've really improved, and that's huge going forward. The game next week, and that's a good thing on the road to be disciplined, not have a lot of those penalties. USC did a great job of that tonight at home.
Yep, against that very good Notre Dame team, of course. But we'll talk about this one. Turning point in this game, Helton was talking about it. I agree with him. The defense got a stop late in that third quarter, and then something's going on with USC punt returns. It's Jenny Harris returning punts. I love Jenny. He played a terrific game on defense, but for some reason he's not quite sure when to take the fair catch, when to let the ball roll. And a couple times USC was pinned inside their 10-yard line. And at one point USC started with the ball on the 2-yard line, and then they just go 98 yards for a touchdown to tie the game up at 21. And you could just feel the momentum. We were, tweeting, Coliseum's going crazy, crowds in it, everything's happening. And then it really came down to the defense there at the end. It was Uchenna Nwosu stopping guys. Cam Smith, 17 tackles. We can't say enough about him. And the defense, I talked to Uchenna post-game, and he said the defense lives for those big moments. They love coming up with it. And it really came down to the defense in the end. We'll fast forward to the last plays of the game. So Utah gets the ball with 2:21 left around midfield. They march down all the way to the red zone, score a touchdown. There's, 40 seconds on the clock. And of course, the gutsy play calling by Utah. They love going for fourth down. They already went for a fourth down on that drive to keep it going. And instead of tying the game going to overtime, all the momentum in USC's favor, they go for the 2-point conversion and are stopped. It was Jenny Harris actually making the play on the outside, I think, there. And it ended the 2-point conversion attempt, 28-27 Trojans.
Yeah, no, craziness. Just want to get your thoughts real quick. Put you on the spot real quick. Are you going for it if you're Kyle Whittingham in Utah? Are you going for that? You're kicking the extra point, you go in overtime.
I mean, it makes sense that they had all the momentum. USC did have all the momentum. And USC's offense started clicking like crazy. Rojo was breaking out runs. Right. We had Malapai breaking out runs. Even said Ware was getting in there.
Sure.
I would honestly kick the extra point, and I would try to go to overtime and see what can happen. USC's still prone to turning over the ball. Yeah. Sam was still making some questionable throws. He had no interceptions, but he could have had 1 or 2 in there.
Yeah.
That could have been picked off, some questionable throws. And he even said in the post-game conference he wasn't in a rhythm in that first half at all. He just couldn't find it, and he luckily did find it in that second half. And Coach Helton walking off the field with Sam there said this is what great quarterbacks do. They come back, find a way to win. And now USC is still undefeated here at the Coliseum. That's now their 14th straight win here at the Collie. Haven't lost in almost 2 seasons now.
That's incredible. Yeah, it's a lot of fun to watch them here. But next week they take their talents on the road and talk about a hostile environment. Very tough task. What do you think is the key? Notre Dame's really good in just about every phase of the game.
Well, I think a big point you just mentioned was the laundry not being on the field today.
Yeah, no, it's huge.
It's been almost double-digit penalties. They're up, 8-9 penalties a game for the Trojans so far, not being disciplined enough. Tonight, 3 penalties, converting third downs. I think if they stick to that mojo, converting and not shooting themselves in the foot. Of course, the turnovers are a big issue with this team throughout the season. It's been Sam turning the ball over a ton, and they're telling the press conference, what can you do, to change that? That just comes with the territory of having a quarterback like Sam Darnold that likes to make big plays and likes to push it and likes to fit balls in tight windows. You're just going to get that sometimes. So if they can limit turnovers, limit penalties, and then get that balanced running attack and passing attack, I think they'll be pretty good out in South Bend there.
No question about it. Big task for sure. They faced a very good quarterback tonight in Troy Williams for the Utes. Next week, it's Brandon Wimbush. Talk about a guy who can do a little bit of everything for the Irish. I'm looking forward to it. I know you are too.
Should be a dandy.
It should be real good.
All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. We'll have another post-game show, post-game podcast as well on you on TrojanInsider.com.